It's me! Welcome to the Weekly Whisper, Episode 9. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and we are here to talk all things 365 Pro Wrestling. I hope you're ready. We just had a tremendous weekend as 365 made its debut in the Alpine Club, and what a show it was. I have the results here. 6 amazing matches, and the crowd went home happy. Everybody was talking about on social media how great of a show it was. I can't wait to see some of the videos come out and some of I've seen the pictures. Shout out to Skullmaster Photography. Add him on Facebook if you haven't already. He has a couple hundred photos of the show from this past Saturday. In the opening contest, we had Pretty Ricky taking on Brandon Jacobs, and Pretty Ricky was able to defeat the hometown hero Brandon Jacobs and get the victory and get his hand raised there. In the next contest, we had Clay Wilson taking on John Tavius, and Clay Wilson was victorious against John Tavius. Super K won his match against the debuting Tyler Arrow, and some great reviews I've heard from all the matches. I've heard some great responses for. And the next contest was Joey Allen getting the victory over Rip Impact. Joey Allen now 3-0 in his 365 career. The next match, a tornado tag match, which we talked in detail about on my last episode of the Weekly Whisper with my special guest Sabrina Kyle. The Temple, Jeff Black, Lenny Lilac, accompanied by Tex Lexus and their, I don't know what they call it, Templeite, Minion, whatever. They were able to defeat the Scumbag Royalty as the numbers game proved to be too much. And then in the main event, BMD was taken to his limit by Eazy-E Eric Kearney, but BMD was still able to be victorious and win that contest. And man, there's a lot of great stuff happening in the 365 world. If you have been following on social media, just yesterday, Commissioner Dr. Walls made some incredible announcements about the next upcoming events for 365 Pro Wrestling, and we're only about 16-17 days away from these events. March 20th in Kitchener, Ontario, Friday, March 20th at the Registry Theatre, 122 Frederick Street. There has been a match announced, one match, and so far this match is enough to make you go out and buy your tickets. Get your tickets online, 365prowrestling.com or canadianprowrestling.com. You can there's links on Facebook, there's event links, numbers you can call. It's very easy to get your ticket, secure your spot. You do not want to miss this. The first ever 365 Global Championship match. The first ever Global Champion will be crowned as we have Judas Icarus, the Born Sinner, making his way back out to Ontario, and as of his impressive showing in the last 2 Ontario events he was in, it's only right that he be in this match, and he has a shot to become the first ever global champion in 365. He will be taking on the Wrestling Machine, Textbook Tyson Dukes, and there's another competitor that Dr. Walls added to this match, BMD, fresh over his victory from this past weekend over Eric Kearney. BMD has been added. It'll be a 3-way contest in your main event, March 20th at the Registry Theatre in Kitchener, Ontario. And then the very next night, Saturday, March 21st in Guelph, Ontario at the Red Chevron Club. It's going to be a great show. What was I saying here? The first ever live championship will be crowned in a 4-man tournament. We have the semi-final contest. We have Eddie Osborne will be taking on the Temple's own Lenny Lilac, and then Clay Wilson, who got a big victory over John Tavius a couple days ago, will be taking on Jeff Black. The 2 respective winners will go into the finals, and whoever wins the final contest will be crowned the first ever 365 Live Champion, to add to a list of great champions as we got Haviko and Eddie Osborne, Havio as I call them, the first ever tag team champions, and we got Jordy Taylor, the old greedy bastard, as the first ever grand champion. In just 16 days time, we will be crowning the first ever 365 global champion and the first ever 365 live champion. Commissioner Dr. Walls is going to be making more announcements as to the rest of the matches coming up in the next few days here, and also there'll be an explanation as to what the live champion will be and the global champion, what they represent and all that fun stuff. And then Dr. Walls just killing it out here, making another big announcement. In the 365 short history, one of the better matches that have been talked about was from the last Guelph, Ontario show, Judas Icarus versus Josh Alexander. He has given the people what they want. The rematch, Judas Icarus, the Born Sinner, versus the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And in the night before, if Judas is able to win his match and become global champion, then this match will be for the global championship and he will have to defend it against Josh Alexander. Get your tickets now to these two great events. They're going to sell out fast. Guelph always sells out. It's not the hugest building, but they pack them in like sardines there, and everybody has been loving the shows that have been going on there. The first ever registry show in Kitchener did very well, and you're not going to want to miss it. Just based on these matches alone, you're going to have a pretty great event, but there'll be more match announcements coming up in the next few days. Whew, I'm getting myself winded here. I get so excited talking about 365, but I also want to know from you guys, what was your favorite match from this past weekend? Put it in the comments. What did you like about the event? What did you not like? I want to hear from you guys so I can bring back my segment, the Comment Corner, and hear from what the fans are thinking of the product they've been seeing, and we'll put that up there. So we're not going to have any Comment Corner this week, but I'm just getting so into it. I love talking 365, and I love doing this weekly Whisper show. We're on my 9th episode already. I'm going to get through the year, 52 episodes, you know it. And here we go again, TT, Trivia Time. Now, last week I did a special trivia time with Queen of Horror, Sabrina Kyle. No one has claimed that prize yet. We've had some submissions, but no one has got all the answers correct. So if you want, go back, watch Weekly Whisper episode 8, and take part in the trivia challenge to win a great signed 8x10 by the Queen of Horror, Sabrina Kyle. This week, the prize will be different, but nonetheless, still a great prize. So let's do it. We got 5 questions, which you can find either on the 365 website, on their YouTube channel, or on their social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. All the answers can be found. They're not too difficult. Just you might have to do some scavenging around to find out the answers. Whoever submits the first 5 correct responses to me, Facebook Messenger is the easiest way. Just message me on Facebook Messenger, Elian Habanero, or email me ctw52@hotmail.com. Don't put it in the comment section of YouTube. I know I really love the comments. I want you to comment on YouTube, but not in this case. Don't do it, because then people will see what answers that you have right and what ones you don't have right. So let's do it. The first question is, out of all the videos that have been uploaded on the 365 Pro Wrestling YouTube channel this year, so in the past 2 months, which video is the highest viewed video of this since January 1st, 2020? There was recently a segment called In Your Backyard. It was on the CTV Kitchener News, and it was all over social media. I know there was links on Facebook for you to watch it. Who was the host? What was the name of the host from CTV Kitchener that did this segment, the 3-part segment, might I add? And also, I want to hear what you guys thought about that. That was pretty cool. So what was the name of the host of the In Your Backyard segment for the 365 feature on CTV Kitchener News? Okay, so Jordy Taylor is the grand champion, the first ever grand champion, and according to him, he'll be the first and the last. If you don't have this guy added on social media, Instagram, Facebook, I didn't check out his Twitter. He is something. He's really fun. He's really entertaining. He's got the voice of a god. But what does he call his 365 Grand Championship? He gave it a nickname. What is the nickname for his championship belt that he calls it? Okay, and now this is, like I said, episode 9 of the Weekly Whisper. Out of all the episodes of the Weekly Whisper that I have done so far, which one is the longest? Which one is the longest run time, the most amount of minutes? Which one? Tell me that. And then the last question. Question number 5. Some of the recent 365 Pro Wrestling podcasts, which you can find the podcast on Spotify, Google Play, iTunes. I believe there's like a Sound FM online one, or it might be an app. I'll have to do digging my research a bit deeper on that. And it's also on YouTube. But A few of the latest episodes have had a special guest host. What is the name of the guest host that has been recently featured on the 365 Pro Wrestling Podcast? And now it's time for my favorite time. This one always gets a few feathers ruffled. Sometimes it gets me in a little bit of trouble with people that don't want me, talking away with my mouth and saying stuff that maybe I shouldn't, or stuff that has no credit or merit to it whatsoever. This is the Rumor Roundup. I have fun with this. Wrestlers talk a lot, and sometimes somebody could say one thing and then it gets switched, and by the time it comes back around to me, it's not even the truth, and then sometimes it wasn't even the truth to begin with. But I just love doing this. I have a lot of friends that are wrestlers, a lot of acquaintances. People talk, things happen, and with the show this past weekend, there was a lot of rumors being thrown around there. But everything else I report on the Weekly Whisper is fact. These are not facts. This is just fun to get people talking, and according to my buddy Nolan, it's definitely worked so far. So let's see. The first one I've been talking about is BMD, who gets a shot to be the first ever global championship, March 20th at the Registry Theater. He has a popular YouTube show called Figure It Out Bud. I've been hearing that he is in talks to get a major sponsor for his show. And I'm talking major. I don't want to put it out there, but word is that he may get a huge sponsor, worldwide, Canada-wide known sponsor for his YouTube show. If you haven't saw his show, go ahead, check it out, subscribe to him, and it's a great little thing he's got going there. Speaking of No, not speaking of that. This has nothing to do with that. Okay, the next Rumor Roundup is Joey Allen, who was victorious against Rip Impact this past Saturday, is now 3-0 and 365. And the announcements by Dr. Walls came as a surprise to him, from what I've been hearing, that he may be a little upset as to why he is not getting a shot at either the Global Championship or the 365 Live Championship. The man is undefeated in 365. He defeated BMD at the Registry Theater, and I think he's a little upset that BMD is getting the shot instead of him, which may make him even more vicious out in the ring. So we'll look into that, and maybe I'm going to try and get on the phone. I'm in regular contact with Commissioner Dr. Walls, and I'll see if he can give me an explanation as to why that is, or why maybe BMD was chosen instead, or maybe Joey Allen wasn't even considered. I don't know. Jordy Taylor, who I was speaking about earlier, he likes to talk a bunch of stuff. Well, now Reggie Marley, who's apparently retired from in-ring competition, could he possibly be making a comeback? They seem to have some kind of beef. I noticed there was something on Instagram where Reggie was talking about how he buried me, and that he stays ready, he stays in shape, and that he's saying, who is this guy about Jordy Taylor? I mean, to anybody that doesn't know Jordy Taylor, well, get out there and find out about this guy. This guy is amazing. But some shots were fired. Jordy Taylor fired back, I believe, yesterday. I know it's on Facebook. It might be on other ones. I'm more of a Facebook, YouTube guy myself. But he fired back at Reggie with a delightful promo that rhymes. I'm all into the rhyming stuff. And could there be something coming of this? Could Reggie, return to the ring? Could he possibly go out to BC for the Grand Championship? I'm not sure. But stay tuned, as I'll report more on it next week if anything comes my way, any more information. So Scumbag Royalty, my next rumor here. Scumbag Royalty lost to the Temple, but they did have a good game plan, and they definitely held their own, but they were outnumbered 4-2, and CC wasn't even there. If CC Moss had been there, it would be even more, 5-2. So I've heard that possibly they are considering recruiting another member. Not sure if this is fact or fiction, but they could be looking into it to try and maybe even up the odds. Who would be a good fit, in your opinion, to be a member of Scumbag Royalty? And if you're a wrestler watching this and you want to be considered to be a member of Scumbag Royalty, well, get on the horn, make yourself known, cut a promo, message these people. Get yourself known if you want to be considered. Also, we have our lovely cameraman, Lefty Gravette, Nick Lefty or whatever, and our photographer, Steve Skullmaster. Now, I wasn't there at the show this past weekend, but I've heard there might have been some kind of altercation or some kind of words exchanged as to possibly getting in each other's way. Lefty is trying to film, Steve Skullmaster is trying to take the photos. I wasn't there, so I don't know if there's any truth to this, or someone's just trying to get me going. Maybe, I don't know. That they possibly exchanged a few words, I don't know. So let me know if you do know. And then there's been talks, this coming out of the show from Kitchener this past Saturday, that Pretty Ricky may not be welcome to wrestle for 365 in Kitchener, Ontario anymore. And I was wondering what was that about. So apparently he tried to smooch the ring announcer Mandicat. Not sure if this is true. There's no proof or evidence of this. I got on the phone with Dr. Walls and I asked him about this. He said he's reviewing the incident, and if found guilty or found to be true, he is not going to suspend Pretty Ricky from wrestling in Kitchener, but he would be looking into possibly a fine, maybe giving him some sort of fine for his conduct of doing that. I doubt this is true, but you know, it's fun to talk. It's fun. I'm having fun. Look at this smile on my face. Okay, so Brett the Body Matthews, who has a great physique, apparently he's looking into releasing a line of workout products and cologne. He's got he works hard to get in the shape that he's in, and he's considered maybe releasing his own Brett the Body Matthews products. I don't know where the cologne came from, but you know, there could be some truth to that. If so, let's start getting this going. Let's get on him. Let's start a petition to support him, that this would be something that if he's considering doing that, it'd be well received from this 365 universe. I don't know. I don't want to call it the 365 universe, but the people of 365. And also, Haviko, if you've seen the documentary, it was probably about a year ago now, a well-done documentary on the man behind Haviko. If you don't know, he's dabbled into doing some rap songs and whatnot, and there may be a possibility of him incorporating some of that into his wrestling performance, perhaps, I don't know, like rapping when he comes to the ring during his entrance, or maybe just using some of his songs as his theme music. I don't know, but it's interesting to me, and I would be all for any of that. That is all for the Rumor Roundup. Let me know what you thought. Make sure you comment in the things. Tell me what you liked about the shows. What do you think about the big announcements? Anything I talked about on the Weekly Whisper, make sure you comment. And also, as always, like or you get a leg drop. Comment or you get a clothesline. Subscribe or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!